post-NPM models lack empirical validity. So, since we have been asking this and that, once they have asked, let's say, a holistic question, it is a generic question. It is a generic question. And they were the specific question. Post-NPM if you talk, and NPS you talk, or new variance talk, they are a specific question. But this question is a generic question. Generic question is many a time difficult to address because it demands greater conceptual clarity like this question. Basically, it is essence of weakness of post-NPM models. When we have told that post-NPM models lack empirical validity, and that's also analyze. The analyze means that hardly there is a scope that you will criticize. Because you have to give analysis on that. It is a question 7b. Now, such question, it is a question you can have a direct start, no need to, simply you can say post-NPM models. Post-NPM models emerged, right, 2000 onwards, or even no need to write here if you don't want. Simply post-NPM models emerge as largely as critic to new public management. This, that can be. Then you can talk post-NPM models. You can write post-NPM models like, let's say like NPS 2, at least you know that, neo-variant model. Right. Neo-variant model, then right. New public governance model, new public value paradigm model, network governance. And then let's say we have whole of the government approach. This. Now let's, just for examination, let's say they have asked 3 times, they have asked once, right. Indirectly asked. It has application, we don't speak, it will be asked, but it has lots of application here and there, we'll relate it. Right. It means, let's say we have been expecting these two, which we have not asked, new public governance and new public value paradigm model. Right. So we expect the way we were expecting them, now they have asked. So similarly, we are expecting this new public governance also, new public value paradigm model also. This. So maybe we will ask in mock test, etc. So that way it will be right. Or if you see that 10 test model answers, so maybe you will get 1 or 2. This, so that way. Now what we are asking is, let's try to understand that these all these models I have tried to, let's see, first thing they have done is that common, let's say that common thing is that first thing that they criticize NPM, this, and they reject NPM as end in itself. They are ready to take NPM more as means. This is the common aspect in finance. So they want to take NPM more as means. So they have not completely rejected NPM. This you should understand. They have restructured new public management, not replaced new public management. This, they have tried to restructure new public management by, let's say that giving more significance to ends part rather than means part only. This. So that way we can consider. So as a means they will take it, or they will incorporate new public management. Right? This, because efficiency is important, you know that. Efficiency remains important. And without achieving efficiency, you cannot achieve other things. This, no state today can, let's say, compromise on being efficient and competent. This is even our present government, you know, since 2014, lots of reforms have been taken to promote efficiency. So this way you can consider. So they have criticized and they want to take it more as a means rather than an ends, and they have given their own, let's say, analysis means model. Now, when we say that why they lack empirical validity, see, each claim that they are the emerging paradigm. This problem with them is, if you read NPS, so you will read lots of lofty terms in NPS. Right, it is this and that, and it is about let's say emerging paradigm in public administration. Same thing at neo-variant model, let's say that. Same thing, new public governance, they will say it is an emerging paradigm. They will say an emerging paradigm. If each one is a paradigm, right? If each one is a paradigm, so we have asked in past question, let's say, they give rise to competing paradigm in public administration. That way also we have been expecting a question. They have given rise to a competing paradigm. Competing means ki seventh paradigm will be known by which one? Right. So that is called competing paradigm. Okay, but that's not our question. Question is they lack empirical validity, means whatever they are saying, whatever they have hypothesized, they are not fully recognized. Okay. To get full recognition, they themselves need to carry out more research, studies, right, and make their hypothesis clear. Right. Hypothesis they are clear means that whatever the characteristics they are talking, let's say they need to explain them more empirically. Like if you remember Robert Dahl, who told that there are three, let's say, that conditions. Public administration will not become a science of administration unless you make human behavior more predictable, unless normative considerations you make clear, and unless it becomes comparative. Similarly, let's say whatever they are saying, right, whatever the characteristics they have, be it 7 principles of this, or it is combining that, or new public governance, it has its own, let's say, characteristics, whatever it is talking, public value paradigm. So those things should be made more clear. So they are more as emerging, let's say, that in nature. They are more as emerging in nature. They are not fully conceptualized. They are not fully theorized. So when they are not fully conceptualized and theorized, that's why we say that it is said that they lack empirical validity in whatever they are saying. Right? And that's why they are yet not fully recognized as model or paradigm. Right? And that is how you have to agree on that. This.
And then they apply afterwards to break even. When there are certain drawbacks, and then the need to be and the process continues. That's what happens.
Right. What they have done is that they have studied some of the things in particular context, and then they have theorized it. Right. Let's say that new public governance. So they have largely studied in UK environment. Right. And on the basis of that, they have given some 3 characteristics: service orientation, outcome orientation, and legitimacy. Right. The 3 important, let's say, characteristics of, let's say, new public value paradigm. This new public value paradigm. So when we say outcome orientation, service orientation, legitimacy, let's say, what do you mean by this? Right. Already, let's say, what then service orientation, NPS is also service orientation. Then public administration traditionally has remained service orientation. Right. Then legitimacy, let's say that the legitimacy problem is as old as, let's say, that in past, and legitimacy has been dealt by this or that way. Let's say Max Weber talks legitimization of authority, power is authority. Right. So when you say legitimize, means legitimacy, outcome orientation, service orientation, these are the three characteristics of this new public value paradigm. Now, can they be accepted as universal principle? This is what they are saying. Or they are known. When they are known, so they become very vague. Already they were known, the way new public administration talks. The new public administration, 3 NT goals, 5 goals, 4 strategy. So when we say delegation, democratization, decentralization, debureaucratization, so these are strategies, but whether these strategies were accepted, isn't it? Even new public administration, even if it has some specific contribution, 3 NT goals, 5 goals and strategies, but still it was not recognized as, let's say, important theory. Right. From that perspective, basically criticism is that they need to become more clear. Right. Like let's take this whole of the government approach. It is just based on Australian. Its success in Australia. So when it's let's say Australia government initiated and success in Australia, so now can it become a global theory? We need to further study whole of the government approach in, let's say, other countries also. Right? Whether other countries are applying it, and then on the basis of that you can theorize it. Right? In that context they are criticized. They are basically, let's say, we have given neo-Varian model, but you know that they studied Netherlands and Switzerland. Right? The model is given in Netherlands on the basis of studies in Netherlands and Switzerland. But they are entirely different countries. Right. We are telling on the basis of their normative acceptance. Normative acceptance is that there is rent-seeking behavior, there is crony capitalism, we have to enforce contract. Right. So hence we need people, those who can have Max Weber type characteristics. Isn't it? It is in that context they said. So it is on the basis of essence of all those, let's say that, post-NPM models, what exactly the weaknesses they have. Right. We can say that they lack empirical validity. Although, let's say, you can agree that towards end you can conclude that even if they lack empirical validity, but they have become the emerging paradigms. They represent the most recent nature characteristics of public administration as a discipline. Yes, and that way I should finish.